I came by earlier to scope this site out and there was no noise. All right, I'll start. I don't think that's going away. Hey everybody, welcome back to 1 Minute Walking Tours. I'm Jonathan. Thank you for tuning in to our, I like to think it's a very special episode because I found this online from, I want to get his name right, Don Burmiester. I want to thank him for running the extra special website called A Field Guide to New York City Manhole Covers. Now that might sound a little dull, but I spent 10 minutes looking through the rather amazing styles of manhole covers and street covers, they're called, which have quite an interesting history. So of course we're here to discuss and look at the oldest street cover. Now it's not a manhole lid, it's a street cover in Brooklyn. And it's in actually the oldest street cover in New York City. Now I found out there's more than one because there's one in perfect condition for a street cover, but it's in front of these people's house and it's on the private property, and I felt that was a little disrespectful. But we're in Brooklyn Heights, which is sort of the oldest developed piece of Brooklyn, piece of New York City, which would have something like this. Now if you can see, there it is. Now I'll show you in a minute, but this has been here. This is the Thaddeus Hyatt style street cover. Now this would have been, and you can see, there's another one there. Now that has a gas pipe, and there's one that's closed up there, and there's one that's closed up there, and there's one more around the corner. And this would not have entered into for water, or sewage of any kind. This is for coal. Now this was put here in 1845. And you can see this area here. This would have had little cylinders of glass in it, which allowed obviously illumination down into the coal storage area for this coal area here, and that for the coal area there. Now that was quite the breakthrough, and Thaddeus Hyatt would fight for a patent from 1845 to 1855 when it was finally awarded. You can see the same idea up here to illuminate the cellar of this house. Now that's glass in there. The difference with Thaddeus Hyatt is that there are these studs. You can see them all around the top of this lid. And you can see, original patent, 1845, November 12th. Now this iron would have been forged, the lid would have been forged itself, would have been forged in New York. Now remember, this is 50 years before modern New York City. That's before New York, Brooklyn, Staten Island, Queens, and Bronx become a single city, the city we live in today called New York. This would have been obviously forged in New York, brought here to Brooklyn to be put in a whole separate city. Now 1845, when this is put in here, is 16 years before the American Civil War. So if you were born the year this was put in, all these were put in to supply this building with coal, you could have lied about your age to fight in the Civil War. And people were already probably saying, oh, these coal covers were probably showing their age. But in an era before electric lighting and an era before Brooklyn, before London had gas lighting, the idea that you could allow light into the coal bunker, if that's what they were called, they're called that on ships, I'm just kind of whatever, into the coal cellar. This was a radical idea, and obviously Thaddeus Hyatt wanted to protect it with a patent, but unfortunately, I don't know how well that works, because once you see something like this, that's a really good idea. Because people who delivered coal, the family, whomever, this would allow light, I'm guessing a little bit of ventilation, into the house, into the cellar in all weathers, with an S as they say in England, with no powered lights, no gas lights. Certainly gas would be dangerous in a coal situation. So he went on to defend his patent quite vigorously. Whether that was successful or not, I don't know. I wasn't able to find too much more information beyond Don Baumeister's book. And again, there is one in perfect condition with the glass still intact in the front here in Brooklyn Heights. Now, the second oldest street cover, they're called, anywhere in New York City is from 1861. So that's 17 years later, or 16 years later, pardon me. And that is actually considered a manhole cover because that connects Central Park, their water supply, to the Croton Reservoir. And that's a big name here in New York City. Yes. Hey, everybody. Yeah, a guy's doing a video about manhole cover. Yeah. It's fun though. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. We'll see you here soon here on 1 Minute Walking Tours. And yeah, I know, right? 1845? That might as well be ancient Rome here in Brooklyn. Anyway, we'll see you here soon on 1 Minute Walking Tour.